I'd like to do a quick exercise with you if I could, just for a moment. So grab a pen, a piece of paper. I'll give you a moment. All right. I assume that's in front of you. Now here's what I'd like you to do. Take a few minutes and write down 3 or 4 top priorities, both personal and or professional for you, that are existing right now. So this could be you've got an appointment you got to make today at 4 o'clock, you've got a certain procedure you have to roll out, you got to have a meeting with somebody, maybe a customer. So write those down right now and just pause this video for a moment. Okay, you've unpaused me. I assume you've got those written down. Now here's the thing I want you to think about, and depending on where you are in the organization, I want to speak to a second from a standpoint of a CEO or a business leader, but this applies to everybody. We all have personal and professional priorities that change day by day. Would you agree with that? All right. So that being the case, if you have people reporting into you, if you're a manager, supervisor, executive, CEO, and you've got people reporting into you, every one of those people have their own list of personal and professional priorities. And that may include some things that you want them to be working on, but it may also include things that they want to work on. Now that's okay, but here's the problem. Employee comes to their manager and says, hey, here's an issue, here's a challenge, I got this feedback from the customer, I'd like to make this change, we should buy this new equipment. What does that manager do? Well, they do what you or I would do. They go, well, let me look at my list mentally of personal and professional priorities and see where that fits. If it doesn't fit, what happens? Nothing happens, right? If it does fit, well, maybe we'll reframe it the way the manager wants to frame it, put it together, however they want to pursue it, and then they take action on it. That's probably what, 10, 20% of the time, tops. The rest of the time, it gets dismissed or set aside. Now, here's the big question. What does that do to the employee? Do they bring more ideas forward the next time? No, they don't, right? They stop bringing ideas forward because nobody takes action on them. Now, I'm going to admit to you here, sometimes there's maybe some odd stuff that comes from employees, right? I want to work half days and get paid a full day's rate. That's not going to happen. But there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of tidbits. In a lot of the work I do with organizations, I'm down talking to employees on the front line to understand what's going on in the business. And my question to you as a leader, as an executive, as a CEO, how much time are you spending on the front lines with your employees to really understand the business? Here's a few ideas I want you to think about. Number 1, create time in your schedule, in your calendar. Block out time for you to get out of your office and get out and see the employees on the front lines of the business. Ask them, how's it going? What are some of the challenges you've experienced today? What's your ideas on how we should fix this or pursue that? And get their feedback. Now you're going to have to give the leaders of that area, the managers, a heads up you're doing this, but you want to do this. You want to get this feedback directly. Secondly, once you get this information, decide how you're going to pursue resolving it. Now, that can be as simple as saying, hey, I'm going to grab some employees that are involved in this, pull them together into some sort of forum or meeting, right? And walk through what are some potential solutions. And more importantly, based on the employees' ideas, how can they help introduce them? And then the last thing you do with this information, once you have the solutions that the employees have contributed to, you take action, and you do so quickly. You'll find if you start to do that, you're going to get flooded with employee ideas and information. So it's going to be overwhelming at first, and that's where most CEOs, most executives, most leaders stop because they say, wow, I can't handle all this. But if you work your way through, you'll create a dynamic, empowered, and engaged culture. Go figure. Isn't that what everybody is looking for? So if you're wondering, why is my leaders, how are they stifling productivity today? How can I improve productivity in the morale of my people? You want to get down to the front lines and understand what's going on, because logically, to nobody's fault, the information, the intelligence, the creative ideas that are at the front lines are being filtered as they make their way up to you. And you're not getting a clear picture. So take these ideas, initiate them in your organization or for yourself, see what kind of results you get, and then connect with me. Send me an email, Shawn@casemoreandco.com, or reach out to me through social media. I'd be curious as to what kind of information you received, and more importantly, what kind of actions you take.